Kevin.
AJ, we're back.
Yeah, we're back here.
We're back, but we've
After
never
a hectic week. Right?
after a hectic month. And this
that's
is
right.
for the viewers that might be wondering what was so hectic about your month and week. We just got done with Blockchain October, and we call it Blocktober here in Dubai.
Yeah.
And Dubai, literally from October 1st till November 1st, technically November 3rd because of the TON event,
Exactly.
Telegram Open Network event. It just ended. As we're recording this, it is the day after the Trump re-election in America. So we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some things in blockchain, obviously, crypto, and as it pertains to AI, the future, 2025. We have a lot of insight.
Yeah.
Especially after that last conference, we have a ton of insight. So we're going to get into it. But for the viewers that they know who you are, so, you know, especially on our channels, they know who I am. But what are we doing here? Talk us a little bit about your journey. Like how did you get into crypto? Quick story, maybe. Hopefully, I know all of us have like a crazy long story.
Yeah.
But give us a quick story about AJ into crypto. And then if you want, you can segue it into why we're here for Wisdomise and all things greatness of AI and blockchain.
I don't have a crazy story
Okay.
of how I end up to crypto basically, but my craziest story is like how I became entrepreneur,
Okay.
which happened when I was basically 17, 18 years old, which I started to build the very first startup of mine, and then gradually, you know, I exited from the first startup. I started the second one, which was like a digital transformation agency, and then again I exited on that. So that was
Very
my
early digital
very,
transformation. Because
exactly.
if you're talking about that age, you know,
Exactly.
not to age you, not to date you,
yeah.
but
I'm
you know,
young though,
you've been-
right?
you are younger. You are younger than me by a few years, but you know, very early on.
Yeah.
You were one of the earliest in you know, your time.
That was a very crazy story of mine. But the thing is, from the very early on, I was always looking to the future opportunities myself, right? And I always try to, you know, hang out or be in a cycle of people who are like-minded, and we are crazy to do craziest stuff, right? But like my story of crypto started 2017 when I bought Ethereum, and then back then I was basically a partner in a sort of a studio / kind of VC, which we were managing a kind of fund for e-commerce and fintech. And at that time, like everyone, were talking about blockchain. They were talking about crypto. How crazy is BTC, Ethereum, right? And we all wanted to do something, you know. And for me, it was like when I was coming from that sort of journey that we want to always build things. So we were always looking at, okay, where is the gap in the market? How we can kind of come and do something in that gap, which I met my very good friend, old friend, and he was also thinking, and you know, he had that same sort of approach that how he can do something in crypto which can help traders, right? So we were talking for a few weeks, a month, and then we kind of gathered the very first team to basically build the very first MVP, and then the whole journey started, you know.
So this person that you're speaking about is your current co-founder.
My
Right?
dear
Fardad.
friend and co-founder,
So
Fardad.
Fardad
Yeah.
and yourself met and started talking. You met a long time ago, but you
15
started
years
15 years before that.
So we were friends for all the time.
He went that way, you went this way.
Exactly.
He did some stuff, you did some stuff. From, if I'm not mistaken, Fardad comes from more corporate background, you from more entrepreneurial background,
Exactly.
right? He worked for very large companies.
McKinsey,
You
Ubers.
You started your own businesses and sold them, so it was a perfect fit there.
Yeah.
You guys are very smart guys. I've known you for a little bit
Thank
time,
you.
but you guys know what you're doing, and I think you're process oriented. If I have to say there's something about you guys, both together and separately, you're process oriented.
That's true.
One is more left brain, one is more right brain.
Yeah.
For sure. But that's what a good partnership is. So tell us a bit about, you said you started an MVP.
Yeah.
Was the MVP Wisdomise?
Exactly. But it was
Under a different name? Or no?
Actually, we started with a different name.
Okay.
The very first name it was Traderware, you know.
Traderware.
It's
Okay.
like software, hardware,
Right.
like Traderware,
Right. SaaS for
exactly.
traders.
But
Yeah.
Very early on, we were thinking that should we go with this name or should we change it, because traderware is only for trades, and we didn't want to kind of limit ourselves only within the trading ecosystem, right? So then we came up with Wisdomise, which is a mix of wisdom and being wise, you know. And the name just came out from Fardad, actually. In one of the nights, we went for a dinner with a bunch of our friends, and they were like, okay, traderware is a bit, you know.
Yeah, it's not sticky enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we were like, how about Wisdomise? And we just checked the website, and the URL was like, the .com wasn't free at the time.
Oh, wow.
And we just took like .io, .co, such a thing.
Yeah.
A year after, we actually bought the Wisdomise.com, and we own the whole domains.
May I ask for, you know, it's a good story. If you're able to say the number, was it an expensive .com? Were you able to buy it?
It was originally expensive, but we negotiated on the price. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Because some of these can get wild.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You want the .com and you got the name, and they know that, they're not going to give it up for peanuts, you know?
Yeah.
So Wisdomise is born. Yeah. And it goes through a lot of changes, I'm sure, over the last 6-7 years. Or, you know, 5 years from traderware. Actually, it's been about 7 years.
The company officially is 3 years old.
Current Wisdomise is 3 years old.
Yeah, but like the whole MVP
before you guys, right?
So a year before that we started.
I know a little bit about some headaches that happened early on with some bad people, as we say. We don't need to talk about that, but it's good for people to know that it's not all daisies and roses and rainbows when you're building a business.
True, you know. That's the
shit's gonna happen, bad stuff's gonna happen, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but we have to do those to get to here. In crypto, I started in 2012. Then we had Mt. Gox.
Okay.
Then Cryptsy, which was a very large exchange, just disappeared.
Wow.
Took a lot of our money. Just boom. This was before the KYC days or anything. We mined Zcash for 1 year, and there was a flash crash with a 95% flash crash, which was a thing. So our break even went from like 9 months to, you know, 96 months, some stupid number, you know, because the hardware was expensive. We've been through a lot, just like as Wisdomise has been through a lot. You got to go through a lot to have tough skin and still be in it.
Yeah.
You have to be crazy, first of all. I mined Bitcoin and then I mined Ethereum. But the problem is when all these alts were coming up, you got excited. If anybody tells you, oh, I knew Ethereum was going to be the best, I knew Bitcoin was, they're lying. When it was early days, 2012, 15, no one had any idea. Yeah. It was a wild, wild west, and it was all very exciting. It was all very exciting. So we didn't always make the right choice to mine a certain coin. Then you got like the current day, what we call rug pull. It wasn't called rug pull back then. It was just like a bad business person. But the bad business people are usually the best marketers. You know what I mean? Even like the woman from Romania, Sophia, what was it, WorldCoin or OneCoin? OneCoin.
Yeah.
She was like a great marketer. Everybody fell for that. It was an MLM.
Yeah.
MLM? Yeah, it was a multi-level marketing. You know the story, blah, blah, blah. She's still on the run, I think. Anyway, now we're here. President Trump has been reelected, and he said the first thing he wants to do is release Ross from the Silk Road marketplace. Oh my gosh. If that happens, we're already like one major step closer to deregulation. The people don't understand how much of that means. For him not to be in jail is a big deal, or to be pardoned is a big deal. That means it wasn't all bad, you know. So fast forward now with Wisdomise a few years. Wisdomise is now a company. You guys decided to do it here in Dubai the whole time? Or did it start, because I know you have a Zug license, a Swiss license.
I mean, Fardad and I...
Like, take me through the journey of Wisdomise from that 3 years ago.
First of all, just adding to your points, I feel like a startup is not a just, you know, happy moments. It's a lot of downfall, a lot of like ups and downs that you have to go through.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see so many winters, and you're gonna see a few springs in your journey.
Yeah.
But you have to enjoy the journey at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because I tell the people that I mentor, the younger generation, I say, I never wish upon you what a true entrepreneur has to see. You have to choose that. And if you like that, then you're crazy just like me. But I don't wish on my worst enemy what startups and entrepreneurs go through.
Yeah.
Because it's not for everybody. And I beg you out there not to be an entrepreneur. I beg you not to start a startup. Because if you're willing to go through that, and if you're willing to grind and make it, you're going to make it. You're going to do fantastic work. But I'm begging you, if you don't have that in your blood or in your body, and if you're not focused in 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., like 12 a.m.,
I mean, you
don't
don't
do
have
it.
time.
Please don't do it.
I mean, time is...
You don't have time.
You don't have time. I mean, you have to dedicate your whole kind of life for that, you know?
So you started Wisdomise, which is an AI trading platform.
That's right.
Was it always this thesis from day one? Again, let's go back to your journey.
In the very beginning, we started to build our own AI models to build a kind of financial kind of index that users can subscribe behind that, and AI does the job on their behalf, which is and was a very complicated subject. Many people claiming that they are doing it, but very few people in the world globally are actually doing it or trying to solve this problem. That's the problem that BlackRock's with Aladdin tries to solve for their kind of corporate clients, right? So we started from that point of view, which it was good, and at the same time we have a lot of obstacles, because to scaling up the company and a kind of platform models with a financial index that we are building for ourselves needs a lot of focus, which could take the company more towards a financial company rather than a tech company, which from the beginning we always wanted to be a tech company, right? So in that front, so we pivoted a little bit. So we had a lot of insight that we are gathering.
Did you go back? Because I think this is important for people to understand. Like, a tech company in today's age has a multiple on valuation that's very attractive for investors, but you got to build a tech stack. You got to build the back end. You have to have multiple tech stacks, patents, things like that. Did you go from being a tech company to a financial company to a tech company, or was that a label being put on you? Or did you guys sit down and say, hey, I think we're turning into a financial company?
The thing is, honestly, because that was our main skill set as well, right? We were like bunch of brilliant, genius tech guys. Like, if you look at our team, you know, we have a lot of top PhDs, gold, silver, international medal Olympiads, working with a lot of top academia advisors from MIT, Boston. Like, we had always this talents, but like, that's where we were coming from. That was where we have the strength, right? From financial side, for sure, we have experts who are helping us, but it's not our like bread and butter, right?
Sure.
The bread and butters come from technology, and we want to transform things with technology, with a technology approach, not with a financial approach, let's say.
It was just natural that the financial aspect of trading and algorithmic, you know, crypto, all of these were hot on finances, fintech, TradFi.
And this story,
fintech. Would you say you're a fintech guy? Because that's obviously what it is, financial technology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the very first pivot is like, number one, we were always trying to gather the best data in the market and turn it to actionable data. Not, I mean, in the beginning, it was just for us we kind of model those sort of data and turn it to a kind of index product, right? But like gradually we were like, okay, how about we kind of release this data for the mass users so they can also get benefit out of that? Because one of the problem is, I mean, even still, this is my problem in crypto. Like, you are in a mountain of information and data, and you are always surrounded by so many noises that you don't know that which one is right, which one is wrong, right?
That's why KOLs do so well.
Exactly. So what AI does, and what we want to kind of transform the market with AI, is to basically gather all of this data, we clean all of that, and giving actionable insight to the users, and all that can happen in real time, in millisecond, which is not in the power of human. in AI, in my opinion, AI is an extension of the human intuitions, right?
Right.
So that's what we are trying to do, to kind of make humans more powerful in terms of all the tooling that they have so they can take a better decisions.
But hold on. You did this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
There was no AI. Obviously, there was AI. You know what I'm talking about. There was no mass media
no
noise.
ChatGPT.
No ChatGPT. There was no AI in today's retail market. It's been going on for 25 years, longer, 30 years, excuse me. But the AI that we hear about, that, you know, CNBC and CNN and our mothers and the taxi driver and everybody's talking about, this didn't exist.
Right.
There was no AI in the sense of that. There was blockchain. There was, you know, but how do you go about, like, when no one's talking about it? Investors know there's not really a multiple placed on that, like big tech. So you said the thing that I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, or just comment on it, that data was very sexy at that time.
Of course.
Big data.
Yeah.
And everybody had a data analyst. You know, even just starting 7 years ago, which when it became hot about 8 years ago, sub 2000, you know, after 16, 17, everybody was going after data.
Yeah.
And then AI crunches that data for you better, faster, stronger, more optimized at a cheaper operational cost, blah, blah, blah. But no one was talking about it like they are now.
That's true.
So like, talking from like a startup perspective and like going through the tough days and hard days and good days, did you see more energy from investment side and people side, from the data, like just taking keywords, big data rather than AI? Because AI, no one understood. Even to this day, no one understands. Don't mistake it.
Exactly.
I don't understand it. I know enough, but no one understands it. But data is something we can all get our heads around. We've been infiltrated by data all our lives.
Yeah.
Even when you were a kid watching your TV with your parents on the 7 o'clock news, whether it was in LA or like we just had an election, a piece of data would be given.
Yeah.
You know, the global warming is now 30% more of this. You know, President this, Clinton back in the day did 20% more of this, taxes. So it's always just data. If you drink sugary drinks before you go to sleep, you have a 20% higher chance of diabetes, blah, 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 blah. So data was what got this all started.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Enter AI. When did your pump of AI come for you guys? Because you guys are AI guys 3, 4, 5, 7 years ago.
I mean,
But the market now,
Yeah.
we're all AI guys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Is that funny, frustrating, laughable? Like, what's your
think,
emotion here?
I
Like,
think,
we've been here all along, buddies.
Yeah, we were like, sometimes it's frustrating, but at the same time, is interesting for us because I think one of the good things that ChatGPT has done is like brought
for the
AI
masses.
for masses, right? Commercialized AI at some point. One thing Fardad and I, we were always talking about is like, we started AI when AI wasn't sexy enough in crypto. Like everyone were talking about NFTs, about like DeFi, about meme coins, this and that. But like no one were talking about AI at the time. And we were really building AI and multiple layers of AI, from ML to reinforcement learning to genetic algorithms, so on and so forth. But like, I mean, AI at the end of the day is statistic data, right?
Correct.
And we are bringing this statistic data and analyzing those and giving some sort of result to the users. And the problem in the financial market is like traditionally, financial market, mostly we're looking to the historical data and analyzing those things. One of the things that AI helps right now in financial market and specifically in crypto is that it can bring to the extension to the predictive kind of data, because it's not just looking at the historical data, it's looking at the real-time kind of sentiment of the market, to the correlations between one asset to another asset, so on and so forth, like different sort of pattern, and giving those sort of predictive data to the users.
Right.
And that can bring a human to the next level at some point.
Incredible value.
So
incredible value for the retail markets.
Yeah.
So predictions is something we all are excited about. If you can predict the price of Bitcoin in the next 10 seconds, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can get Bitcoin predicted in the next 10 seconds or minute or hours or whatever, you become a superhuman trader.
Exactly.
The only thing that's been done before this, before the advent of something like Wisdomise, was the trader rooms in Wall Street that got together and they put a strategy in place with all of the optimized information that gave them a source that says we should go long, we should go short. Then the they would plug it into the machine, and the high frequency trading platforms, the computers, would take over. That's why when you see a big sell wall or a big buy wall there, it's usually high frequency trading, which is very generic. 1% to 2% can move the needle big time for them.
Right.
But with crypto, 1% to 2% is nothing.
Yeah.
So, but on the retail side, if I can become a better trader, if you can make me a superhuman with intelligence, now we're on. So enter this word intelligence.
Yeah.
Enter all of the things that Wisdomise is doing and plug in different products along the way. But intelligence is at the core of Wisdomise and is at the core of crunching those numbers, crunching the data, taking social sentiment from what Trump tweeted to all the way to the indicators on trading to what your algorithm is crunching in between these two spectrums.
Exactly.
To give an output of a prediction, which is intelligence. You don't have to follow that it's going to go to 47, 42, 45, but it gives you sentiment, long, short, up, down, very simply put.
Exactly.
And that is extremely valuable. In a world where there's no intelligence given and we're having to run around with our heads cut off, find our own news sources, read all the tweets, impossible. Impossible to have the intelligence that your platform gives. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. One thing that I'm always trying to kind of educate our own community first and then the broader community of Web3 is like, first of all, what we are doing in Wisdomise is not to make you rich, is to make you wiser and more smart in the market, right? So that's what all we are trying to do. Because a lot of people feel like, okay, are you giving something that I'm gonna get rich tomorrow? I don't wanna do that. We don't wanna do this in Wisdomise. We are trying to bring high accuracy data, cleaning those for the users and giving those actionable data. Decision making on those data is under control of the users. Because at the end of the day, one of the very, I think, wrong things that people thinking or trying to do is like giving all the controls to the machines, to the AI, to all of these engines, right? And they think like with that, we're gonna make a smarter world, which is not the right things. We should give the power to the users, but at the same time, we should give the control to them. That's what we are trying to do. How? We are giving the best intelligence in the market to the users, and on top of that, we are giving a trading tools which can automate things for them. And on top of that, we are adding some features like for the first time, AI risk management. Risk management is one of those things that we feel like AI is the extension to it. Yeah. Tomorrow you want to go and buy BTC. What do? You don't just, you're going to go and just look at the price. If you are a bit more kind of expert traders, you're gonna, find the best price that you put the orders and that's it, right? But what auto traders will do for you is based on your character and risk optimizations, keep optimizing and rebalancing your risk for you, right? And at the same time, whatever intelligence you want is something that we are offering, right? But at the end of the day, the bottom line is we are not gonna make you rich. We are not gonna kind of be your shortcut. We are here to give the most solid product that optimize your journey within the crypto market.
Very well said. And in between us and between our friends group and the people I grew up with and the people I spend time with, this makes a lot of sense. But I want to play devil's advocate for a second.
Yeah.
It is crypto.
I know.
It is Web3. It is degen. It is this. It is fast money. It's exciting. It's sexy. So in a world of like degens and whatever. Degens is now not like a bad term.
Yeah.
Degens is not like a, oh my God, disgusting. No, it's like, it actually quite means the opposite. That means like wise, smart, fast, exciting. I don't need a degree. I'm a degen. I can figure it out myself. I flip, buy, sell, high, all this. So in a world of like this culture, 1,000x tomorrow, got to triple up today, all this flipping NFTs, metaverse lands that, 100x overnight, all these different frontiers. People just want to get rich quick.
Right.
The masses, the 90%. So I don't want to take away from the thing that you said, we're not here to make you rich, we're here to make you wiser. I respect that. But I can argue that someone using one of these products and being just a half good trader can also make more money.
Of course.
Let's just cut it down to brass tacks. Cutting it down all the way, cutting it to its core. If someone uses this intelligence wisely, if someone uses this auto trading to rebalance, if someone uses copy trading on other platforms with your intelligence to tweak a few things, they can make a lot of money.
Of course.
Now with the liquidity and meme market and some of these other altcoins coming up and the divergence of ETH to BTC and the dominance of BTC with a couple pieces of knowledge, with a couple more pieces of wisdom, you can make a lot of money.
100%.
So like just being a capitalist for a second, I appreciate that you're making me wiser, and I do. But let's just cut it and be honest. You use this wisely,
to become rich.
You can make money.
Of course.
Rich is up to you, right? You got to put up the money, you got to risk, you got to hedge, you got to do different things. Just like with this election, a lot of people were hedged on both sides.
Exactly.
The Ripple story was a Kamala story.
Yeah.
The BTC story and everything else was a Trump story. So you got to be hedging. None of this intelligence could have told you that. It couldn't have told you exactly that, but let's just cut it down. As a capitalist, you can make money by becoming wiser. You don't become stupider by reading more books. You don't become less of an executive by staying at work an extra longer. Same idea with trading. Using more tools like Wisdomise and the 4 tools that I know, from risk to copy to auto to coin radar, the list. I'm a user, right? So I can speak as a user. I'm not an executive. I'm not an owner of the company. I'm a user of the company that's working with you guys on a different way. So when I'm a user, I look at, I can make money.
Yeah.
So I send this out to my trading friends and I say, take a look at this. Give me your opinion. First thing they say, not just me, to you probably too. Yeah, okay, there's a bunch of these platforms out there. Okay, great. Did you try all the products? Well, no. I'll come back to you in a few days. Great. Oh, that was interesting how they ranked the coins and the meme market, and I was interested in this. Great. Oh, that was interesting how they gave me a little bit more to the analytics that I was looking for, and I made a couple more percentage points. That's money. That's economy. So your subscription fee or your tools that you're selling from a retail perspective, we're not even getting into institutional, which we're going to talk to in a second, is pretty massive, brother. It's pretty massive, and it's very necessary. So you're making people wiser to make more money.
Yes,
and
100%.
Thank you for
saying
that.
I'll
add that in.
The only thing is why I brought this a statement, because
it's genius, by the way.
Because I want people actually. I mean, they don't just want to have an overnight kind of richness at some point, right?
I get it.
And Wisdomise don't want to kind of connect to only like one wave or another wave, right?
Sure.
We want to kind of create a very solid infrastructure that infrastructure can potentially make you rich. But like we are building that infrastructure. We are not make you rich directly,
right? Because that's always short term.
Exactly.
Like the package salesman and the signal salesman and all that, they don't need to be right 10 times. They just need to be right once out of 10 times. And if you're along for the wave, you usually make a lot of money. But the next 9 trades you lose, you're not really thinking about it because you hit the jackpot the one time. But how long does that last? Very few. In a bear market, they're screwed. There's no signal that can help you. So enter bear market of the last few years. Wisdomise has been building. You built through the bear market.
That's very
After COVID, we had the really bear and then a nice boom and then back kind of sideways trading for the last 3 years. So I'd argue this is probably the best time to build a product.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Well, very hard. Yeah.
Very difficult, but the best time because you got to see it in action. If everything's going up and daisies and roses, not so hard to be like, oh, we're the best. We're the best. Yeah, no shit. Everyone's the best when everything's going up.
Yeah.
But you were sideways trading, doing this. Were the results good enough for you? Like at an early stage?
Of course. I mean, it was a very hard time to build such a product in a bearish market.
Yeah.
You know, we started at the good time of the market, but then suddenly we had Luna crash, which we built on Luna as well very early on.
That should be part of the story when you say the story because it's good to know.
Yeah, and
who would have saw it coming?
Yeah, and then I mean that was some of our ups and downs in the company as well because we put a lot of resources, money, everything, and then we built things on Luna, and then Luna crash happened, and then FTX happened. And like gradually, I think last year was where the chat GPTs kind of boom started, and that was a good time for us, you know, because everyone were like talking about AI. And we saw like suddenly so many projects came out with just ChatGPT API connection and saying like, okay, we are another AI company, right? Which we respect them as well, you know.
Was that a bit of validation for you guys?
That,
like
of course,
like 18 months ago, we had this conversation. If we sat here 18 months ago, we wouldn't be talking this hype.
Exactly.
Now it's hype. The energy is different. The movement is different. The momentum is different. Was that a bit of validation for you guys?
Of course. I mean,
you guys high-fived in the back office and said, we made it. We made it to this cycle now.
Exactly.
Now it's up to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we believe on long-term product buildings and, you know, long-term vision that we have.
Yeah.
So we don't want to just do something as the sake of doing something today. We are always looking at like where we want to stand for the next phase, for the next year, next 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
So, okay, now let's go into the future a little bit. We talked about the journey. We talked about what Wisdomise is. We've learned about your and Fardad's, building of this through different hype cycles, bear market. I don't even know if we're in a bull market. I mean, all-time high, of course we're in a bull market, but like, it doesn't feel like it. It feels we're doing good, but not great. So we'll see. That's great for us. That's great for everybody in the industry. If you're building, keep building. But you got to start bringing those products out. Like if we want to talk about 2 entrepreneurs here and 2 startup mentor advisors, investors, like I think now if you've been building throughout the bear market, it's time to pull the trigger. You got to let the market decide, is this product worth the time? So there's a few products you spoke to. There's a few products you haven't spoke to. I don't know when this will be aired. And it's up to you what you want to talk about, but we can also cut it out and wait. But there's a few products that you just dropped or are dropping.
Yeah.
We just came back from the Telegram Open Network Conference, TON.
Yeah.
TON Gateway. For those that don't know, it was here in Dubai. It was amazing. 2 days before that, you had the Binance Blockchain Week. 2 themes came out of, many themes came out of it, but 3 themes came out of these 2 conferences. Arguably the biggest in the world for exchange, Binance, for decentralized network, Telegram, the largest dApp market, mini games, of course, you know the tap story and all that. The themes that came out of this were memes, surprise, surprise, DeFi, and AI.
Yeah.
When we went to Telegram, it was a little bit more, well, of course, it was developer heavy.
Yeah.
But Binance was business heavy on memes and gaming. Gaming, right?
Yeah.
I'll add gaming there, but DeFi, because gamified DeFi was the Telegram side.
Yeah.
But AI was one of them. But there's no products. I wouldn't say no. There's very few products building for crypto, finance, trading, asset management, AI.
Yeah.
So did that get you excited? But competition's a good thing. So if there's not 10 Wisdomise out there, it's not so good. You want 10 Wisdomise out there so that you can rise to the top. But when you're talking about crypto X finance and the mini apps and the mini games and all of this on Telegram, which has the most users and the most opportunity for something like intelligence, Was it encouraging that you're at the front of the line about to see the boom, in my opinion? Because 2025 is going to be DeFi 2.0, now with Trump in,
Exactly.
100%, deregulation of some sorts. Gensler's gone. DeFi 2.0, gaming 2.0, mix those, you got gamified DeFi, and at the really kind of bubble that no one's filling is AI.
Yeah.
So what do you guys, if you want to talk about some of the products on TON, I don't know if you guys caught this earlier. I said predictions over the next 10 seconds of Bitcoin. That's Wiseboy. Wiseboy is the Wisdomise mini app game that you can use to predict the price of Bitcoin in the next 10 seconds. So that was a little plug. You saw what I did there? Yeah. Now we're bringing it back. Talk about TON. Talk about TON Gateway and talk about your new products.
Yeah. I mean, TON, was one of the very interesting platform for us. Like, in terms of technology, technology has some limitations for sure, but like, we love TON in terms of the user adoptions. We really believe that TON can play a major role in the whole Web3. Can be the gateway, as the conference was even TON Gateway, can be the gateway to Web3, from Web to Web3. So in terms of user adoption, it's gonna play a major role. So that was why we started very early on to build on TON. And what we are bringing on TON is our intelligence trading platform, or let's say intelligent auto trading platform. We are basically giving intelligence, and on top of that, we brought a very sophisticated trading dashboard to a very simple user journey for the masses.
As of this podcast, November 8th.
Yeah.
Is it out yet?
No.
No.
We're gonna launch on December 1st.
Good to know.
Yeah.
We'll wait to put this in. But I love to talk about things because
for sure.
they get to hear about it, but not yet.
Yeah. I think we're gonna give a limited access from next week or so.
Okay.
But
there was a couple other things that you built on TON for TON.
Yeah.
Risk. Talk a little bit about that.
So basically,
I want you to explain that.
Yeah. So basically, one of the major features that our advanced trading tools has is like you can find any sort of coins you want with our intelligence or without our intelligence, and set your auto trades. Which one of the biggest feature on that is our risk management. You as a user might have no idea what sort of risk management you want to set. AI will set for you and keep rebalance for you. And you can also have a multiple entry and a stop and loss, a stop loss and take profits for your trades as well, which we never had these features in any kind of platforms in the world, and we are bringing for the first time on TON and on DEXs.
Okay, for new traders out there, just break that down a little bit more simply. That was very simple, but I want to break it down even further. I think the key word in everything you said was automated.
Yes.
Because automated means automation, means running by itself, means very little human interaction, interference, downside risk for a human. You didn't wake up bad in the morning and you made a bad trade. You put a bad stop loss. Your eyes were blurry, blah, blah, blah. Your stomach fell, whatever. Human error gets removed.
Exactly.
So automation is at the core of what you're building.
Exactly.
Enter TON, which is a very easy to use app.
Yeah.
Whoa. You're doing something a little heavy.
Very heavy.
How did you break it down for TON then? I mean, this has been a work for a long time.
Yeah.
You don't just wake up in the morning and say,
no.
You got the guys building to make it extremely simple.
Yeah. We had all of these features not on TON, but we based, because also, again, TON is the interface. The Telegram is the interface.
It's your foundation.
The whole backend which we built over past 2-3 years, basically.
Yeah.
And because we had the automation infrastructure, we had the intelligence, we had multiple factors. We built for our in-house trading house as well, because we were building those index from the very early on, right?
That's what I was going to say. You are allowing people to act as their own trading floor.
Exactly.
Like not just one guy, but you could have a trading team 5, 10 people, and you essentially are doing that for them.
We basically
On their phone.
Exactly. We're basically building the biggest decentralized hedge fund,
So
which everyone can be a hedge fund.
Say that again. Look in the camera and say that. No, because the hedge funds are very sexy right now.
Yeah.
Crypto hedge funds. Yet, how do I start a hedge fund?
Yeah.
It's too expensive. I need trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
No, you
so
don't.
Basically, what we do is like we are building the biggest decentralized hedge fund, which each person can have their own hedge fund at some point. You have all the intelligence that you want. You have all the trading tools that you want, and you can do whatever you want by your own. You know,
Huge.
you don't need
huge.
Yeah. So
$1 million all the way down to $1,000. $100 billion hedge funds all the way down to $20. Okay, that's a little low. You get where I'm going. Everybody can be their own owner of their own trading floor, of their own analytics team, of their own intelligence team, of their own aggregators, of their own risk management. Each one of what I just said at Fortune 500 companies is 50 to 100 people. Risk is like at banks and hedge funds is like a 400-person team at a big institution. Okay, that's retail side, super exciting. I can be my own hedge fund, essentially using these tools on such an app like Telegram in my pocket, walking anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
The other side, which is very exciting and massive, institutions, sovereign funds, banks, governments. Whoa, 1% moves the needle for them. 1% will just, if they can make 1 more %, great. You're essentially saying, hey, without saying it out loud, I'll say this for you. You fire your teams, fire your analytics teams, or at least cut it down by half, but don't fire them before you teach them this. Use Wisdomise, use the many applications for those 5 different departments: risk, aggregation, leader, coin, leadership, which one's outperforming, and intelligence.
Yeah.
And you haven't even tapped that market from what I know. I know you have some partners, but you haven't even tapped that market.
Not from technology perspective, no, we haven't done it. Yeah.
Huge revenue stream, untapped market revenue stream. Can this be applied to non-crypto?
Of course.
That's not easy. It's a whole nother language. It's a whole nother thing. But the tech stack is the tech stack, right?
Yeah. We actually...
Is that in the roadmap?
To be
long term?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in the roadmap.
Yeah.
We even have done it on other asset classes, on
like what?
Oil, gold.
Okay.
We have done it.
Holy crap.
But for our own sort of technology.
Oh, you're being selfish.
No, the reason is
you're keeping it for yourself.
The reason is we don't have the license for other asset classes.
Okay. Understood. But you tested it for yourself.
We tested that.
But I gotta imagine that's like not small beans. Like
exactly. But we don't want to get distracted from day one. Like we are a startup. We have to focus and kind of unlock a niche first.
Sure.
And then expand.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But it's very exciting.
It's exciting
that
for sure.
Those same tools now in multi-trillion-dollar market caps.
Exactly.
Crypto, Bitcoin specifically, great. We're excited. I believe it's the 9th largest asset class in the world now as of this last pump. Super exciting times. But when you're talking about oil, gas, commodities, BlackRock said, and I have a lot of good friends much smarter than me say that all of these assets, stock, bonds, treasuries, commodities, or otherwise will be tokenized in the future.
That's true.
And so intelligence is at the core of everything Web3, which is at the core of tokenized assets.
The very initial slogan of our company was like tokenizing the wisdom of crowd, as that's what we are trying to do at the end of the day.
So can we use that as a sub motto? Because you're hitting all of the key words too.
Yeah.
You got to play the game.
Yeah.
To round it out, I want to spitfire some questions at you because you have such a wealth of knowledge. You and your partners are not regular people. I say that lightly.
Thank you. I take it as a compliment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My dad thinks I'm crazy. Internet magic money and fugazi and all of that. You got to be crazy to make a dent in the universe. So you guys are not normal people, or else we wouldn't be here. Everyone's AI guy now. You guys were AI before it was cool. Like I invested in a DPIN company 4 years ago, but DPIN wasn't even a word.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a word.
It just came out this year.
This year, 2022. Sorry, but kudos to Functionland. You know who you are. You're doing fantastic work. I want to ask a couple of spitfire questions to end it out, and you can answer them how you want. But what excites you most in our industry? It can be AI, it can be crypto, it can be just general tokenization, gaming, DeFi. What excites you most?
Honestly, what excites me most is the energy of community. Is none of, I don't want to categorize things, but like the whole industry, I know is very sometimes it's surprising, but it's very interesting industry in terms of how people helping each other, how they are collaborative, how they are into partnership. Like the whole community is interesting. It's very different than any other industries. In terms of the community drivers, I think this industry is very unique at some point. And every day kind of excites me as well.
What scares you the most about our industry or any one part of it?
I would say scammers. You know.
Very well said. I've asked that question a lot in interviews and stuff, and I've never heard that answer.
Because
very good.
I want to tell you a story. Like one of the things we always like to do is like to be at the edge of technology, and I believe like AI, blockchain is the edge of technology, and everyone should respect anyone who are building on top of this edge, right?
Right.
And I'm sometimes get sad, like, you know, some scammers coming and even like ruining those people's reputation who are building solid things on the edge of technology, right? So, yeah.
For someone out there, because competition is a good thing, we do have some competition. Wisdomise has some competition, but different ways. If you could give a piece of advice to a younger AJ, go back. Can be 15 years before you met Faridad, could be 5 years ago when you started Wisdomise or Tradingware and with the name change and all of that. What advice would you give yourself at any point of this journey?
I mean, my main advice is endurance, you know. The
resilience.
Shackleton have a nice quote, with endurance, you're going to conquer the world, right? And you should be... like you should go through a lot of hassles and you shouldn't give up. I mean, you never should give up. If you give up at any moment, you're not entrepreneur anymore. And game over, right? So that's my piece of advice, because very early on when I was younger, I wasn't patient enough for certain things. And you should be so patient. And if you can learn that, I think you're gonna win no matter what.
Very well said. I appreciate that. I think the younger generation of builders, entrepreneurs, but also bringing it into our space, crypto, blockchain, AI for your matter, is important, because you can get lost in the FUD, you can get lost in FOMO, you can get lost in like, you know, I should do this, or everyone says, and I'm very unpopular when it comes to like push back. I say push back your TGE. I always say push back your TGE, push back your TGE, blah, blah, blah. TGE. Everyone's like, no, liquidity, I need it now, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? Are you in this for long game or short game or otherwise? Build good products and they will come.
Yeah.
Be a good executive and people will want to work with you. Build good products and be a good executive. There's no shortage of capital out there. They will invest in you.
Of course.
So endurance and resilience is very key.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time. I learned a lot here. I think the community is going to have a lot to digest. When this podcast comes out, I think half of it, maybe we'll drop a 50-50. Half of it, because we don't want them to know about some of the Telegram stuff, but more than honored for you guys to be part of the testnet. Is there a testnet? Or you said a beta?
The beta coming this week, and then December we're going to have the full launch.
So whenever this comes out, you'll know, but if it comes out earlier than not, you'll get the full launch in December. I think Q1 next year is going to be very exciting. I think it still needs some time, to be honest. You kind of got that at a ton event. We're just not there yet. But you can smell it. It's like an oven baking in the kitchen, and like you just came home and you something cooking. That's the moment we're in. It's not fully cooked yet. I'm talking about the whole AI side, but it's being cooked. And once that oven opens up, game on. You know what I mean? So
That's
the West
true.
needs to deregulate. People need to start using sophisticated products, retail and otherwise. Institutions, I'm not worried at all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's open
Yeah.
game and it's
Yeah.
going to be massive.
Just a startup,
for you
know?
guys too.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race. Bitcoin is slow. Ethereum is expensive. Solana is stupid. That's like the thesis of there. You
That's
pick
good.
your poison, not like this has a platform protocol, but build it and they will come. And so I'm really excited over,
Me
what
too.
you guys are doing at Wisdomise.
Thank you.
Very proud to know you guys. And I've learned a lot every time I talk.
Likewise.
And just like today, we had the casual conversation. This is not
Yeah.
a podcast name. This is not an interview.
We just decided.
We just decided to do this, but
to sit-
I'm glad we did.
Yeah,
And I think
me too.
you dropped a lot of knowledge
Yeah.
that I learned
Thank
as
you.
well. So I'm going to have to go back and research it. I'm a user, guys. I'm a user. That's at the core. I'm a user. If you want to try being
Yeah.
better, faster, stronger, lower your costs, try
Yeah.
this out. Give it a shot. What's your website?
Wisdomise.com.
.com. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. What am I saying? You bought that.
I was,
yeah.
I was
What am
talking about the whole
What am I
story,
saying?
right?
Yeah, and I still want to know how much he paid for that because I'm super excited because I was a domain
Yeah.
guy back in the day.
Farda was behind the negotiation. Like he has a nice story to tell.
I
about
know it
that.
wasn't like cheap, but I know because
Yeah.
Fardad is a good negotiator, I'm sure he brought it down. But I know it
Yeah.
wasn't cheap, But wisdomise.com, find Arash, AJ, and Fardad, and the entire team of real genius techs. You guys work in the shadows a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'm a little louder in the front of the market, but I'm always going to be your cheerleader. So I
Thank you.
appreciate you guys. Keep building, keep crushing it. I'll see you in the bull run.
Let's do it. Take care, buddy.